So tonight I'll take you through 1600 years of art, architecture, and community at Santa Felicita, the church between the Ponte Vecchio and Palazzo Pitti outlined here. But actually we'll go beyond the church itself to the large monastic complex it once served. My goal is to show you, layer by layer, how this part of the Oltrarno evolved into what we see today, and share some of the moments of tragedy, humanity, and beauty that have shaped it. I'll focus on 6 major metamorphoses, with a musical excerpt representative of each historical period, and discuss a few important monuments you shouldn't miss when you visit. I actually have a personal connection to Santa Felicita because for about 5 years we lived in this apartment right next to the church. Luciana Mosici, Cristina Francois, and Francesca Fiorelli Malesci did the foundational historical work on Santa Felicita, and much of what I'll tell you comes from their findings. It's a pet peeve of mine to hear people call the church Santa Felicita with an accent on the last syllable, because that accent makes a world of difference. Felicita with the accent means happiness. Felicita without is the name of a Roman saint whose life was far from happy. When you walk into the church, you'll see her in this large altarpiece on the right. In English, she's called Saint Felicity. According to legend, she lived in 2nd century Rome, as the depictions of Trajan's column and the Pantheon are supposed to make clear. Felicity was a wealthy and pious Christian widow, and when she refused officials' commands to worship the Roman gods, her 7 sons were summoned. They too remained steadfast in their Christian faith, even after being condemned to death. Felicity gave courage and comfort to each son as she witnessed his death, refusing every chance to renounce her faith. Finally, she was martyred herself. So it's a heavy story. Her gesture in this painting also directs our gaze upward. She's pointing to another group of martyrs, the Holy Maccabees, who had a remarkably and maybe suspiciously similar story. It's depicted in a nearby altarpiece. This is the story of a martyred Jewish woman and her 7 sons, ordered to eat pork by King Antiochus IV. We're in Greece, as the Doric temple indicates, and the king is depicted in a red robe, looking down with imperious contempt at the Maccabee mother, whose sons have just been killed for refusing to break the laws of their faith. The Church of Santa Felicita has always celebrated the feast days of both Saint Felicity and the Holy Maccabees, and the 2 accounts are so similar that they were often intertwined and confused. These 2 altarpieces were commissioned in the early 19th century to differentiate the 2 groups of martyrs. Before I move on, let me note how different the pictures are, though separated by less than 40 years. Giorgio Berti's on the left looks back to neoclassicism, with a central heroic figure set against a backdrop as flat as a stage set. Compare the spatial expanse and depth of feeling of Antonio Cesari's painting on the right, steeped in French Romanticism and almost cinematic in its staging.